Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene blasted Trump administration officials on X on Tuesday, accusing them of keeping the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case files hidden for years. The far-right lawmaker, known for promoting conspiracy theories online, has increasingly distanced herself from Trump in recent months and was a leading supporter of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which ultimately forced the Justice Department to release previously undisclosed records related to the late billionaire financier. Greene was responding to a post by ex-influencer Mario Nawfal summarizing newly released files, which included a survivor's account of being confined by Epstein in cells resembling horse stalls so men could look at me. The synopsis also described how other young girls were forced to perform for their abusers in hopes they would be sent upstairs to slightly better conditions. Reacting to the synopsis posted by influencer Mario Nawfal, Greene wrote,
"This is horrifying. Trump called me a traitor for fighting him to release the Epstein files and standing with women who were raped, jailed in stalls, and trafficked to men. Only evil people would hide this and protect those who participated. I pray for these women."
The development follows the release of another set of Epstein documents that include additional disturbing details. Among them, what appears to be a letter from Epstein to imprisoned former gymnastics doctor and sex abuser Larry Nassar, in which he claimed that Trump shares our love of young, nubile girls. Marjorie Taylor Greene entered Congress as one of Donald Trump's most loyal allies. Sworn in only days before the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, Greene stood by Trump and repeated his claim that the 2020 election was stolen, even as many Republicans distanced themselves from him. Now, 5 years later, Greene is set to leave Congress after being labeled a traitor by the same man she once fiercely defended.
We'll see what happens.
Greene says her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
In the span of just a few months, her relationship with Trump unraveled in a dramatic and public break. While Greene had already voiced objections to Trump's decision to carry out airstrikes on Iran and his backing of Israel during the Gaza war, the decisive break came over Jeffrey Epstein, the late convicted financier with ties to powerful elites. Greene criticized Trump for refusing to direct the Justice Department to fully release the Epstein case files, and went so far as to stand with Epstein's victims and with Democrats to push for a House vote demanding their disclosure. A month ago, joined by Thomas Massie, Ro Khanna, and a group of Epstein abuse victims during a press conference, Greene responded to Trump calling her Marjorie Taylor Greene. Since then, the public fallout between the two leaders has worsened with each passing day, most recently with Marjorie Greene calling Trump evil for withholding the release of the Epstein files.
I woke up this morning and I turned to my weather app to check the temperature, and it was 32 degrees. And my first thought was, hell has froze over. I want to speak goodness and love and hope into the women standing behind me and all of the other survivors whose names you don't even know, but stand with these women. They are survivors, and they are strong, and they are courageous, and they are daughters of God. They are not victims. These women have fought the most horrific fight that no woman should have to fight, and they did it by banding together and never giving up. And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people whom we serve as representatives here in Congress demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files, but the real fight will happen after that. While I want to see every single name released so that these women don't have to live in fear and intimidation, which is something I've had a small taste of in just the past few days, just a small taste. They've been living it for years. But the real test will be, will the Department of Justice release the files? Or will it all remain tied up in investigations? Will the CIA release the files? Will a judge in New York release the information? That's information that needs to come out. And will the list of names that these women privately hold, and they hold it because of their fear in their heart of what would happen to them if they release it on their own, will that list of names come out? That's the real test. So I want to thank Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna for your bravery in doing something that is much needed in America, crossing the political aisle that has become bigger than the Grand Canyon in America. But these men crossed that aisle on behalf of these women. And that is more of what is needed today in America than ever in our history.
Do you take the president at his word when he says he's going to sign this bill, and do you have confidence that these files will actually be released?
I only take people's actions seriously, no longer words.
And what do you think the president's actions?
And I'll tell you, because I wasn't a Johnny-come-lately to the MAGA train. I was day one 2015, and there's a big difference in those Americans and those that decided to support President Trump later on. And I'll tell you right now, this has been one of the most destructive things to MAGA, is watching the man that we supported early on, 3 elections, for people that stood hours, slept in their cars to go to rallies, have fought for truth and transparency, and to hold what we consider a corrupt government accountable. Watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart. And the only thing that will speak to the powerful, courageous women behind me is when action is actually taken to release these files, and the American people won't tolerate any other bullshit. That's where we are today.